Hey everybody, today's PE project or today's how-to video is how to yo-yo. And now not everybody has a yo-yo, I understand. Um, I didn't have one either, but I thought of this idea. And they are very inexpensive. If you go to the dollar store or the Dollar Tree, you can pick one up there for $1. Um, that's where I found mine. So this is a how-to video on how to yo-yo. So I have just a regular yo-yo, nothing special. Um, how we get started in our learning how to yo-yo is first to be able to wrap up the yo-yo if it's not already. This is kind of a difficult thing to do. When you wrap your yo-yo, you can't just hold it tight and wrap it like this because, and I'll teach you a little bit about this later, but there's a little bit of slack um, in between where the loop is on the yo-yo and your string. So what you have to do is you kind of have to wrap it with a little bit of slack when you go around, and don't pull it tight. So you're just kind of feeding it around the yo-yo really loose, and that will allow you to start wrapping it a little bit tighter each time around until you get the string pretty close to all the way wrapped up. Now, once we have that, we have to find the loop on the end, okay? And the loop is not meant to fit everyone's finger. Um, the finger I like to use is my middle finger or my ring finger. And sometimes it's not tied to fit. So what you need to do is take a little bit of your slack and you feed it through the loop, just like this. So you've made another loop now. Now with that loop, then you can put your finger through whichever finger you want to use, and then pull it tight to your finger. And I like to have it right above this knuckle right here, not all the way in here, and I'll show you in a second why. But I'm going to back up here. Now we have everything set up to be ready to yo-yo. So I have my string wrapped around my yo-yo. I have the yo-yo set up, the string set up to fit my finger. Now I'm going to wrap it here nice and tight so that it is all the way up to where I have it on my finger, just like that. So it's nice and tight and I can hold it in my hand just like this. Now we're set up, we're in a good position here to go ahead and release the yo-yo. Okay, now when you release the yo-yo, what you're gonna do is have your palm facing up and your arm facing out. From here, you're gonna roll your wrist towards the floor and release that yo-yo, and it's gonna go all the way down. Now the tricky part is when you yo-yo, once you get the yo-yo down, you have to time your tug. So your tug is when you turn your wrist back over and tug it back up so that the yo-yo comes back up, it wraps back up and you catch it with your hand. So it takes a little bit of eye-hand coordination here, which yo-yo is a great thing to develop your eye-hand coordination. So again, we're going to release it by rolling your wrist towards the floor. Then we're going to turn your wrist over and time that tug so that the yo-yo comes back up and we catch it with our hand. So it looks like this. Whoops, I actually made that one fall asleep, which I'll show you in a little bit here. So I didn't quite time the tug right. It looks like this, just like that. Turn your wrist over, back around, give it a little tug so it comes back up to your hand, just like that. Now, if you're having a hard time, just go ahead and pause the video here and practice, or rewind it to any of the steps that we already covered so that you can go over and fix maybe some of those things to work out the kinks as you learn how to yo-yo here. Just like that. All right, so go ahead and practice that until you get the hang of it. And now I'm going to show you how to get your yo-yo to sleep. Now, not all yo-yos are able to do this. I I haven't really figured out which ones do and which ones don't. It's called a Duncan yo-yo that I picked up at the dollar store. And it's called a butterfly. I do think that these are the ones that sleep as far as I know. I'm not sure what other brands there are that do this, but this one works for me. Now, to get the yo-yo to sleep, what you do, instead of timing how you tug it back up, you're going to release it really hard, like a really good snap of your wrist. And when you turn your hand over, the yo-yo kind of just sits and spins at its furthest point away from your hand. So it should be just a quick snap and turn your wrist before it hits the bottom, and you don't tug your hand back up, and that's what makes the yo-yo sleep. So it should look like this. And then to get it to come back up, if you saw my hand, I just tug it really quick. And if your yo-yo is still spinning while it's asleep, if it's still spinning fast enough, it will wrap back up into your hand. So it's sleeping, I can see it spinning, and it comes right back up. But it has to be a really good release flick of your hand, and your hand has to turn over quickly. Otherwise, just like that, if you time it wrong, or your yo-yo isn't, if you didn't flick your wrist fast enough, the yo-yo just kind of doesn't come back up, and you have to re-wrap it and start over. Just like that. Now, there are lots more tricks that you can do with the yo-yo. Once you learn how to get the yo-yo to sleep, there are other ways that you can yo-yo by going backwards with a backhand. There are a lot of different tricks out there. You can go and do a quick YouTube search on how to do yo-yo tricks, and there are a lot of them out there. But these are the basics, and I hope with this video you're able to get some of those basics down. Now go ahead and practice at home, and I hope you enjoyed this video.